What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to serve anyone who's looking to level up from their current situation. This show is dedicated to helping raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts out there, those who want more out of life, those who want to do more, those who want to be more, those who love the thrill, the joy, and the connection of what these high performance engines bring into our lives. Because holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good fucking person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Man, today we're going to be talking about believing that things will work out for you, about having faith over fear, then developing the grit so that you can go put in the work to actually make things happen, right? But first, what I want to do is I want to start with defining faith and fear, right? So in simple terms, faith means believing in the positive outcomes, or in other words, trusting the process, right? The opposite of that is fear, meaning allowing your doubts and your uncertainties to really control your actions. For example, faith could be like trusting your training and your ability to perform good during a race. Fear would be like doubting your skills or your capabilities, which end up leading you to overthink, and then as a result of that, you hesitate, right? And so the power of belief can be a game changer for you. It really can. You see, belief, what it does is that it shapes our actions and our outcomes. Positive belief leads to confident action and better results. Negative belief or fear leads to hesitation and missed opportunities. Like, look, I've seen this come up a lot, especially like after every crash that I've had in the past. At a surface level, like if you look at this from a surface level, I end up falling because I'm pushing the limits. Like, and almost always pretty damn fucking hard too, right? And if you're looking at this from the outside perspective, you would fucking definitely agree that, man, this guy's falling because he's just pushing the limits, right? But what I have noticed after reflecting and after really putting more thought into what went wrong after every crash, almost every single crash that I've had, I've gone down because not because I ran out of talent, but because I lost focus in what I was doing, right? And so then what happens when you lose focus after that, you fucking crash. And that is what I've noticed. But then what happens is that after that happens, right? This fear after that crash, this fear starts developing naturally because, I mean, fuck, there's real danger. There's real immediate danger from performing motorcycle stunts. There's real danger that happens after you crash. I've broken my arms. I've broken my scapula. I've broken my leg. I've broken my ribs. I've broken a bone on my hands. Like, I've broken a lot of bones, right? But if you let that fucking fear take root in your mind, it will severely impact my riding for several days, weeks, or even months. Like, I gotta be like really fucking focused and really intentional about not letting that fear really just sit in my mind. This is why, like, I always find it important to make a comeback as soon as possible. To not sit around, to not fucking pussyfoot, to not be like, oh, I don't know, I don't know when I'm gonna be ready. Like, you have to do your absolute best to do that same trick again and again and again. Because if you don't, what happens is that fear will develop into hesitation. And then as a result, when you hesitate, you won't ride with confidence. And when you don't ride with confidence, you're more prone to falling, right? And so you got to make that comeback stronger than the fucking setback every single time. And that all starts with you having faith and believing in yourself. I'm going to give you some strategies that you can use to really just cultivate faith over fear. You got to literally be willing to talk to yourself. I do this all the time. You got to talk to yourself so that you can build the faith. And then as a result, you reduce your fear. Like, those two can exist hand in hand. You're either going to have faith or you're going to have fear. Like, you rarely, and I don't even know if it's possible to be feeling both of those at the same time. You're either going to be really scared and you're not going to have no faith that things are going to work out, or you're going to have a lot of faith and you're going to be really focused on how much faith you have and how much belief you have. And as a result, that subsides the fear, right? And so also visualization works great for this. And then I've done it multiple times. I have done it for several things in my life, not only riding, for work, for relationships, for fitness, I use visualization a lot, right? And it has performed really well for me as a strategy for a lot of things that I've done in the past. And I continue to do it to this day. And I do it for things that I want in the future. And the key here is that you want to imagine yourself having a successful outcome, but like vividly imagining how it's happening for real. Like you want to put yourself in that situation. You're going to think about like, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you smell? What do you hear? Literally bring all your senses in tune with that with that visualization, so that you can bring it to life, so that you can make it real, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's something that's vividly imagined. It's crazy. Like that's how it works. That's why when you wake up from a dream that it like happened, felt so real, you can wake up sweaty or like in shock or whatever, because your mind thinks that it's really happening, right? And so I'll give you an example. I remember when I went for my first triathlon, my first Ironman 70.3. Man, I had so much fear the moment I decided that I was gonna go do it. Like, like the crazy part is that I went into this journey of now, and I consider myself a triathlete because I've been doing them consistently. I've done 4 already, so that would probably be like 3 years I've been going at this. And I went at it, the first one, right, with very minimal training. And I did it because my younger brother had signed up for that one, like specifically. And then he was like, yo, I just signed up for an Ironman. Are you down? You want to come support me? And I thought that he was saying, come support me to like go race with him. But he was just like, come support me to go like cheer me on and go do this. But in my mind, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go support you. I'll join. I fucking signed up. I'd never even done those distances. I had never even ran or swam half the distance of that race. And yet alone, like I had cycled that distance back several years back, right? But I've never even done the 3, swim, bicycle, and then run. That's fucking nuts. And I had about less than a month to train for this, right? And I remember I would visualize myself like through the race as it's happening every single night, man. I would imagine myself how I would be swimming with the pros, because in those Ironman, like they don't separate you from the pros or if you're just a normal guy there, like they separate you by age group, right? So like unless you're like a very, very high-end pro, like I've seen a couple guys going out in first, but I think those are like highly sponsored. But there's a lot of professionals in there mixed in the crowd, and you won't even realize that you're next to someone that's been doing this for years, and he's like top in the leaderboard, and you're like, holy shit. So I remember I would imagine myself just swimming with everyone there, like vividly, just how I would be, and like just like if I was swimming in that lake. And I say lake because it was at the speedway, right? And I would imagine myself also transitioning from going from the swim into the bicycle, and how I would be at the transition, and what I would be doing, and what I would be like putting my helmet on and my shoes, and I would be wet and I would be dry. I would literally visualize the whole process, and going out and jumping on the bike and then doing that section. And I would imagine myself like how it would be to run around the speedway, right? And I say that because I mean this Ironman, this first one that I did, and actually all the Ironmans that I've done so far, they've all been at the speedway. This one that I'm specifically talking about, it was at the Homestead Miami Speedway, right? And the other one I've done has been at Daytona Speedway. That one's a little bit bigger than Miami. The Homestead Miami Speedway. They both have their challenges, right? But this one was at the Homestead Miami Speedway. And I would visualize like myself how I would be running through the speedway. And actually it was pretty cool because I would think about cars. Man, there's fucking cars racing here and this and that, which throughout the event, obviously there's no cars, but I would literally just imagine myself there in the atmosphere and the vibe and the people. And then more importantly, I would imagine myself crossing the finish line. And I would imagine like myself, everybody, just hearing everybody cheering, go, 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 and fucking just crossing that finish line and finishing within the time, right? Because my goal was for that first one was just to finish. Like I didn't care if I came in dead last, like in the race. Like the only thing I cared about that was that my time did not expire, because what happens is that if you don't cross each section by a certain time, they just pull you out of the race, because the swim is at the speedway of the lake, but then after the swim comes the cycling, and the cycling, what happens is that they close the permit. They have permits to close the road. And so on that one specifically, we went down to Carton Road all the way to Key Largo, the beginning of Key Largo, which is nuts. And so if you don't make it in time, they got to open back the road. So they have a slot that they'll cut you off. And that was my main goal. I did not want to get cut off on that race, right? And I didn't come in last. I actually came in a couple spots from last, but I fucking did it. Like I got it done. Like all that visualization that I did, excuse me, all that visualization that I did, that mixed with the grit and mixed with the desire to really achieve this goal got me to the fucking finish line, right? And so that's why I'm recommending for you guys to really try this visualization technique, because if you vividly imagine it, like if you were there, your mind can't tell the difference, right? You will start programming like if you've done this before, right? Something else that you could do is that you could say like positive affirmations to yourself, and this one helps because it builds your faith and the belief that you will actually accomplish what you're after, right? And so affirmations, especially saying them out loud with extreme conviction, like they really reinforce your belief. And when your belief is reinforced, you no longer, like you go way longer and you go way further than you think you can, because you're hyping yourself up, because internally you're like, oh fuck, I'm actually doing this. And you actually start taking steps to where you prove to yourself that you're going further and further and further. And you're like, holy shit, I'm fucking making it happen, because you're reinforcing that belief in yourself. Like I remember that same race that I was talking in, that first Ironman 70.3 that I did. I would say to myself throughout the race over and over and over again. I would literally repeat myself um, um, out loud. And then when I was really tired, I was just saying inside. I would say it over and over. I can do this. I will do this. I can do this. I will do this. God is with me, and He's giving me the power and the strength to succeed. I will cross the finish line. Like I'd also say like, oh, I have everything already inside me that I need to finish this race. I am strong. I am powerful. I will never quit. Man, and I was like chanting those phrases like over and over again in my head, over and over again. And it may have taken me just about the 8 hour mark. Like it was like 7 hours, 50 something minutes, something like that. Let's just call it 8 hours to round it off. Close enough, right? But I got that fucking bitch done. I really did. And every time I would chant those words, because I would say it with so much conviction, and I was doing exercise, moving my body and saying those words and really believing them, like I would feel this energy build up inside of me. And the more I said it, the more I would feel this energy build up, man, because I was literally programming my mind to really believe that this was going to happen, and I was making it happen. Like with every word and every step forward that I was taking, I was getting more confident and I was getting more capable of what I was doing, even though I had never gone that long pushing myself physically to those extremes, right? And I got it done, all because I decided to put some strategies into play, which is the ones I'm recommending to you, right? And so the next one is preparation, without a doubt. Like you can visualize, you can say affirmations, but if you don't prepare, you're really reducing your chances that you're going to make it happen. Like even for that Ironman, I prepared. I only had less than a month to do it, but I still had preparation, right? Some sort of preparation, right? And so preparation is critical, because as you prepare yourself, you build confidence in your capabilities, because you're actually doing the thing that you're preparing for. You're actually doing the thing that you're going to go do. Like you're practicing. That's why they say practice what you want to do so that you can get better, right? And so the more training that you do, the better it's going to go for you. Like I think that goes without even saying, but sometimes these days common sense isn't so common. So the more you train, the better you're going to go for you, right? And so I see this all the time with my writing. Like I always like to make examples, real examples from my life. I don't like to make nothing up, things that I heard or whatever. Just give real examples so that I know that I'm talking, it's really coming truth. Like it's because I experienced it, right? And so with my writing, like when I do tricks and excuse me, I might lost my train of thought there. But like with my writing, right? With tricks that I'm able to throw down like consistently, right? Over and over again. Tricks that I've already done, not tricks that I'm going to try for the first time. Like if I've been writing consistently, and I've been writing like pretty often, like probably like 2 or 3 times a week, then I'm more than likely going to be writing with a lot of confidence. I'm going to be writing like with conviction. I'm going to be writing with like I'm not scared. I'm going to be writing like with there's no hesitation when I do things, because I'm fucking going for it, right? And the reason why is because since I've been writing consistently, the certainty is there, because my muscle memory has just really been putting in the work. It's been busy, right? And so instead, on the contrary of that, right? If I don't write for like several weeks or a month or even more than a month, I overthink the shit out of things because I just haven't been really been doing them. Like it happened to me the other night. I went out for a night ride. My buddy had just got a Grom. He lives south of me, and I really don't have too many people that live around me that has Groms. Which, by the way, if you do and you live in kind of in the Homestead area, hit me up. Let's do a mini Monday. So he had just got a Grom. He was like, "Yo, let's do mini Monday. This and that. All right, let's go." I hadn't ridden my Grom in over 2 months, man. I remember looking at the last day that I had rode it, and it was crazy. And I was like, "Fuck, it's been a while." And so when we started riding, I was heading to his house, and I tried to do a couple of tricks, and right away I went to do a no-hander, and I could barely nail this thing down. I was having trouble nailing no-handers, right? And so for those of you guys that are not familiar with the term no-handers, what that is you're doing a wheelie, right? And you throw the bike back so far back that it starts coasting, and you don't need the gas anymore. And then what you do is it's coasting, the bike's going back, and it's going with this momentum, and you let go of the handlebars and you use the momentum to continue riding the wheelie. Hence the term no-handers, because you don't need hands to rock that wheelie, right? And so I was struggling with it big time at the beginning of the night. I remember I tried it a couple times all the way to his house. We're not his house. We met up at the gas station, but couldn't. I nailed it very, very little. I was like scared, fucking better doing. Then we started heading to the spot, and I could barely do them either. I was practicing and I couldn't get it done. And every time I would go for it, I would feel scared, man. I would freaking hit the back brake prematurely. I was having trouble committing. I was having like the bike was not there. I was not all there. But then what happened towards the end of the night, after I had been practicing them, like I was just going for them without hesitation. Like I would pop the clutch, do a wheelie, and just go straight for the back, throw it with confidence, let go of my hands, and I was rocking some long ass no handers, right? And it was all because of the preparation. Like if I notice this, and this happens with anything, not just riding, it happens with skills for your professional life, with skills for your personal life, with everything. If you prepare, you will be more ready to execute because you've been actually doing it, right? And then so the last strategy that I want to recommend is that you need a support system. And what a support system means is that you really got to be willing to surround yourself with positive influences, like people who want to see you win, people who will not only support you, but ones who will push you when you need it, right? Like coaches, teammates, mentors, friends, pretty much anyone who wants to see you win, man. Like people who will be there to encourage you to keep going, even when you don't think that you can go anymore, right? Because here's the thing, you can have all these strategies put into play. I was going to say something else, but I kind of just left my mind. Woo, squirrel. You can have all these strategies into play, right? You could have the visualization, you could have the affirmations, you could be you could put some preparation. But if it comes time to actually getting the thing done or actually executing, if you're not willing to put in the action to go after that goal consistently, you're not going to produce any results, right? Like, yes, belief is important. Like, but if you mix belief with action, and then you put affirmations, visualization, and preparation, that fucking action becomes fire. You become a fucking top executor. Like people look at you and be like, yo, this fucking guy's been doing this shit for years. When it's not like you've been doing it for years, it's just that you've been putting in the work, right? And so faith without action is just a wish. Know that shit, right? You got to be willing to put the action. No matter how much faith you have, if you're not going to put the action, that just becomes a wish. And so taking the steps with what you need to do really turns that belief into reality. And what you want to do is you want to set clear goals for yourself. You want to break those goals into manageable steps. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you stay consistent and persistent with the action, even when the challenges arise in your life, because they will. Trust me, bro, they fucking will, right? And so some common obstacles that you can use, and some common obstacles actually that we as humans face, we all face these obstacles. It's really the two most common ones is the obstacles of fear and of doubts. Because our mind is programmed to protect ourselves, right? And doubt because really a lot of us, when we have fear, we lack, which is a doubt that we can produce results, right? And so fear of failure, fear of judgment, the fear of the unknown, like that's really what happens. And you got to be willing to feel the fear. You got to be willing to embrace the fear, and then you got to just go fucking do it anyways, right? Like focus on the learning, not just on the winning, because it's all about the journey. Remember that everyone faces these challenges. It's not specific to you. Like even the fucking top performers, the top pro athletes, the top at anything in their category, there was a time when they weren't fucking good at it. There was a time when they feel fear, and I bet you anything, they're still right before they go perform. They probably feel a little anxious and all that stuff, especially if you haven't been putting in the work, right? So know that it all happens to us. This is all part of the journey, and actually, that is actually what makes it interesting and worthwhile in the end. Like take consistent steps so that you can commit to building your confidence, my friends. So remember, believe in positive outcomes, take the action to really make them happen. Like use visualization, use affirmations, preparation, and a support system so that you can follow through with what you want to do. Set goals, stay consistent, and overcome those fucking obstacles. Like if you apply these principles to anything in your life, anything that you're going after, right? You will see how much better things turn out for you. My friends, never be shy to share your stories that that uh that you implement, like with something that you heard from me. Like if there's anything that I've recommended, something that you've tried, something that you've implemented, something that has worked for you, even if it hasn't worked for you, like bro, don't be shy, shoot me a DM and let me know about your experience. I'm really looking forward just to hear of how this stuff works, right? Or if it doesn't work, I want to hear it all. I'll leave you with this one thought, right? Keep the faith, stay fearless, and drive wide open towards your dreams, my friends. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground and I'm calling out all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and let's prove to the world that we're some badass motherfuckers. Those of you who made it to the end of the episode, I just want to say that you got yourself a win, man, and I truly appreciate you for investing your valuable time into the Live Wide Open podcast. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others improve is the mission that God has tasked us with. We are driven individuals. We are working on breaking the fucking stereotype, and we're working on becoming the best that we can be. Join me on this journey where we help as many motorsport enthusiasts as possible to create the best lives that we can imagine. Bro, and by any chance, if you haven't subscribed yet, use your friendly reminder, go ahead and smash that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. You can follow me on my Instagram. My handle is WideOpenRandy. And if you felt any connection to today's message, I sincerely ask that you share this on your stories so that more people can see and really hear about this podcast, because ultimately, those are really the actions that help us spread the message. I'll catch up with you guys on the next episode, but till then, live your life wide open, my friends. Peace.